You're listening to the SojuTalk Nation podcast, episode 1.
In today's episode, we talk about the Spice Chart, GOT7 news, some interesting crew discussion, and Discord adventures.
So sit back and chill with friends. You're listening to the after show with the SojuTalk Nation. Welcome to the SojuTalk Nation podcast. I'm your host, Crispy, and joining me today is Koala.
Hi.
So the show is a relaxed discussion on this week in the SojuTalk Nation. All right, let's jump into it. So the Soju chart this week had a couple of new songs enter the mix, and we're going to go over a few of the songs just very briefly. In all honesty, boy groups are not a priority for me. So MCND and VicTon, as much as I did enjoy the songs, the music video, and the discussion they had on the episode, I didn't go back to them, so I don't have much to say. Koala, wow. do you have any opinions or thoughts about the crew's overall feelings and reactions?
I mean, for MCMD, probably more like on dark side. I don't really recall it. It wasn't really bad, but it wasn't really good either, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But VicTon, I actually quite enjoyed. So, kind of sad that it's not in the Spice Chart.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
What did you think about their opinions about those two songs? Do you agree with them generally?
I would say yes. I could like generally. Did I? Wait, I'm not mixing it up. Yeah, it was like the same opinion for like most of the parts.
Okay.
I would guess.
Nice. Yeah, I generally like most things I listen to. I don't go back to a lot of boy groups, but if it just sounds okay, like I don't dislike a song. So I pretty much like agree with most of what the crew has to say about songs I don't have that much investment in. So MCND and VicTon, pretty cool. All right, so the big song we're going to be talking about this week is Treasure, coming back with their first full-length album, title track, My Treasure. So how we're going to format the discussion is we're not going to be analyzing it similarly to the crew. We're going to talk about how we feel, what the song means to us, and kind of give our reaction to how the crew thought about it. So I don't know if you knew this, but we have a very big Treasure fan.
I don't know what you mean. Are you talking about yourself? Huh?
I mean, her name, we call her Koala, but her full username is Treasured Koala. So it stands to reason she has some kind of investment into this group. Okay, Koala, let me ask you.
Yes.
This song, My Treasure, what does this song mean to you?
Oh, it means so much. Oh my god. Like, first of all, the whole concept is just like, it means so much because they actually changed up the whole weirdish, how do you call it? Like darker, bad boy, teen crush sound?
Bad boy, teen crush.
Yeah, something like that in that direction. And I was like not expecting them to actually go back to it useful, which is suiting their age. But I was so happy when it came out and I instantly smiled. And it's just so... And it also fits like the whole situation right now.
Yeah, it's very uplifting. More or less same for me. The song was a very welcome surprise. Just because like the past 3 songs have been like a little bit darker, a little bit heavier, and this was just light and bright. It does fall into kind of the similar tropes of the new retro, but I think they did it well enough where it's like different and happy vibes going into the new year. And I think the music video was just very bright and happy. I think it's just like
it was so happy. Oh my god.
So let me ask kind of another question. What does Treasure mean to you overall as far as releasing the full length album with all of the songs compiled together?
Oh God. I can't like put it in words. I don't even know why I'm this invested. Oh, this whole full album like means a lot. If you think about it, they debuted in August. So how much was that ago? 5, 6? I don't do math, but they already put out their first full album called The First Step, which is like really meaningful because they also had their whole series of teasers and concept teasers where they always talked about how important the first step is and that they want to like go on and experience that first step with their fans. And I was just so happy that I was able to see their first full album actually coming out so
Yeah.
soon.
And you are a diehard Treasure fan
Yes,
from Treasure Box, so this is not like a new thing.
yes,
Like you were following these
mm,
kids in the year hiatus they had between the show and the
yeah.
actual
I've
release.
yeah, I've known some of them even before Treasure Box because like fan accounts and stuff and the other survival shows some of them went on.
Yeah.
God.
For me, for Treasure, so Qual, you and I, our friendship happened because we are both YG trash. I think that's well established on the server. But so I typically just like YG artists in general, and Treasure I had always heard about until I talked to you more, and you annoyed the crap out of me by forcing Treasure into my life. And like I said, like I don't really listen to boy groups, but for them, I kind of gave them a chance, and I was still overall indifferent to the first three releases. But I mean, not indifferent, right? Not positive nor negative.
Yeah,
But it was nice to see them
maybe
on
you will
stage.
yeah. Maybe you will find a new Taeyang. You never know.
Maybe.
It's
Well, Yedam, right? Taeyang Light. But with this song and with this release just in general, it's really kind of amazing just how their journey like all culminated together. And I do feel like for me, like Treasure is a group that helped me like develop relationships and friendships, especially with you and the other people on the server. So even if their music doesn't mean as much to me, I think just the thought of what they how they brought people together is important to at least my experience with music and my experience with them. So that's my little thing on them. And also, I really liked Going Crazy and happy that it's now
oh
on an
my God, I
album.
was so happy that it was on the full album.
Yeah, I think that's really
Oh, I
awesome.
finally got it.
Yeah, and I will say this entire album is a really nice listen to while you run because I've been running to this every day and I can listen to the entire thing. So it's pretty good. So now going on to crew discussions. What did you feel about the way that the crew responded to the song?
I was really happy that Doug actually liked it like a lot.
Yeah,
And like for the past releases, they were not bad into it, which I could understand. But for this song, all of those three were really positive, and it just made me really happy.
yeah, I agree. It's always nice when you hear the groups that you really like spoken of highly or positively, right? Like we're all like very realistic in that nobody has to like everything that we like,
Yeah.
but when it all comes together this way, it's just very nice and it just makes you feel more connected with the music, but also with the people that you share it with. I felt that way too, just because it is always kind of nice when the crew talks about things in a positive light that you are somewhat invested in. Like I said, I don't really like boy groups, but Treasure, I guess I like them now. Any other thoughts on what the crew thought about the song?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah,
There's like
sounds good.
nothing.
So the next song we're going to be talking about is G Idol, and
This is
uh,
your time to shine because I'm not that girl group invested.
yeah, the song is titled Hua. It's off of I Burn, and this is a girl group. So I will be leading this discussion here. So what this song means to me is kind of a lot of things in the sense that I've always seen G Idol as somewhat different from other K-pop girl groups and that they're very theatrical, and they have these very like grand gestures and very romanticized ideas of like fantasy, but also like a gothic tone. And I feel like the song and the music video is definitely in line with their themes and how they want to present themselves as artists. A lot of it's led by Soyeon, which she's amazing. But it also just very much fits into line with a lot of the concepts of the individual girls. Some more than others, admittedly, but I think at this point in their careers, they do fit it all fairly well. And I think this music video actually like pulled all that together and showed the girls as like this type of artist with this type of theme and design, with music being very similar to just how they've produced music in the past. But I think like Warren said on the show, like a far more refined, like a next level, like polish to like this type of sound. So Koala, what does this song mean to you? How did it affect you?
It's a girl group after all. I listen to it. I really like it. So like, but I don't have like any special feelings. I was watching it, enjoying the visuals, the aesthetics, the camera work. I like the song. I did not like Yuki's hair because it looks like a wig. I don't know why they did that to her.
Yeah, it's.
Do you like her hair? Do you like the short hair?
It stood out. I'll say that. I noticed it. I was like, oh, that's a thing.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. So just going off of what the crew was talking about, how did you feel their reaction and response and analysis of the art direction went for the song and the music video?
I would pretty much agree to all of the stuff that has been said, especially like Warren and his takes on that and the analysis. Because it was pretty interesting to listen to that, because I did not think that much while watching the video and listening to the song. So yeah, it was nice and refreshing.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear the crew talk about the finer details about the art direction, and even like go as far as like research the cultural aspects of the things that they wanted to represent, kind of the visual depictions, especially with someone like a group like G-Idol, where they are not necessarily story based, but there is a lot of deeper themes in how they present things. I mean, aside from Dum Dee Dum, which is a very like happy, like one shot, like happy, like summer song. Like all the other songs have felt like they're part of a larger story, even though there's no like specific lore. But it does feel like they have an artistic direction. So yeah, it's just really cool hearing the crew talk about that. So now moving on to Spice Chart. The Spice Chart for this week was Treasure, My Treasure, at 1. Taeyeon, What Do I Call You, at 2. Rain and JYP switched to me at number 3. So what are your thoughts and feelings about this chart?
I like it. I don't totally agree to that. My third place would be a different one, but I can agree for the first 2 places for obvious reasons, because it's Treasure. I would not put Rain and JYP on third place. I think it would be either Victon or G-Idol for me.
Nice. And I agree with that too. I think they made a point on the show that the Taeyeon and Rain and JYP songs have been out for just so long, for a month.
It's been like a month.
Where it's like, I mean, that's part of the consideration for the Spice Chart. It's listener fatigue, and they came out during the holidays, so they kind of blended in with like a lot of the holiday songs. Yeah, like it's a fine chart. It would have been nice to see some of the newer songs come into play aside from the Treasure, but I think for the most part, I can still listen to both the Taeyeon and Rain and JYP songs, so I have no complaints there. All right. So moving on to the news section. This is the part of the main show podcast where they bring in news articles and events that happen in the world of K-pop that are interesting points of discussion that speak to a larger cultural understanding of K-pop in Korea, but also what it means to the entertainment business. The one story that we wanted to focus on was the disbandment of GOT7. And we don't want to restate everything that they did on this show, but we do want to just celebrate GOT7 in our own special way and just talk about what they mean to us and our experiences with GOT7. So Koala, in the 7 years that GOT7 flourished and made brilliant music and became part of K-pop's mill group cultural iconography, what does GOT7 mean to
Beautiful.
you?
Oh, they mean a lot to me. They were like one of the first groups that got me into K-pop. So besides Big Bang and BTS in like early 2015, I started to get more into them, and they were like one of the first groups I like actually stand. Not only listen to the music, but I actually stand them.
Well, what part of GOT7's early music drew you to them?
I think it it should be Fly, either Fly or Just Right. It was like around that time that I got more into them. But I will be honest, I fell off that whole standing them and like being deep into their whole fandom and stuff in like 20, I think 2018, 2018, maybe it. I was still listening to their music, but it just didn't feel the same way like it was in the beginning. But they still meant like a lot to me, just on the personal level, because I knew them for such a long time and they guided me into that world.
Right. Yeah. It's always very meaningful to have a group that you started off with in your fandom, right? With K-pop and just all of their fandoms. And it is sad that they disbanded and it ended. But the way
Mm-hmm.
that they talked about it on the show is, and Doug mentioned this, that he's happy that the members have agency in their careers moving forward. They're all fairly young, and we've had a really nice experience with them. It's just nice now to see them all branch out on their own. And like they said on the show, with fairly big agencies and fairly big
Yeah,
places in entertainment.
they are going to be fine.
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
going to worry about that.
Yeah. For me, GOT7, I've always known about them throughout the mid 2010s. I didn't really get into K-pop as deeply as I am today until about 2016, 2017, in that era. And I always knew about GOT7 because they were just a very international boy group. They had members from different parts of the world.
Yep.
I don't. Do you remember when Hard Carry came out?
Oh, that might be 2016,
2016. Yeah. So that
if I
was.
remember correctly.
So I had heard that song in probably 17 because so anime culture and K-pop culture are very intertwined. They're very connected, and I
They
go to a
are.
lot of anime conventions pre-pandemic, and you would just hear K-pop music on the show floor all the time. And there would be dance nights where they would just play K-pop, and GOT7 was always there, and BTS was always there, and Hard Carry was one of like the main songs that the entire crowd like lost their minds to. Granted, they're nerds, so they're all in cosplay, but it was a very fun sight to see. So those are probably my fondest memories of GOT7, just hearing them at essentially anime convention raves. It was a good time, and that's how I got to know them. And as I got more into K-pop and into the different members of GOT7, I listened to a lot of 88 Rising when they started to really blow
Yes.
up. And then when Jackson did songs with them, that's when I really paid attention to Jackson. So I felt like a very strong affinity to him and his story. He's from Hong Kong, and he has a very interesting journey of how he got to K-pop. And for me, I
Yes.
always thought that that was a nice representation of what K-pop does as an international global entertainment force, right? It brings people in from other parts of the world. It brings in other Asian cultures to be accessible to the rest of the world. So for me, I always thought that as a very strong point in connecting with other people, because this K-pop is founded and based in Korea, but with GOT7, it kind of showed me the extent that it can reach to other parts of the world and also represent other Asian cultures. So I am Filipino and Chinese, so it meant a lot to see someone of a different heritage be as successful as Jackson through K-pop, but then through 88 Rising do so many other things in the Western sphere. And I just love all the music that 88 Rising does. Um, and So I guess my last like point and question about GOT7, what do you hope for the group and the members individually in the future?
I don't have anything specific. I, of course, hope that they can now try out new things and do what they want to do. But I don't even like hope to see them as a group together coming back because I don't really need that. As long as I see that they're happy with what they're pursuing right now, it of course would be nice to see them collaborating maybe once a while. But right now, I think it's just time for them to branch out and maybe find out what they actually want to do now that they're free from the company.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And that was one of the main points on the show as well, that because they're going off into so many big entertainment companies and labels and places where they can be wildly successful outside of Korea, I think it's far more exciting to see where they all go. Granted, it'll be a bit more challenging because now we have to individually follow the members, and it's not all through the funneling of K-pop, but I think it'll be fun, especially for me. Like I'm just like super excited about Jackson and just like what he's gonna do with like his music, and then if he's going to be part of 88 Rising more, and maybe we have a Jackson Chungha collaboration.
Oh God,
I
you
think they're both in
you
Korea
simp.
right now. Come on. And for all the other members, especially Bam Bam, it's going to be really interesting to see if he will be able to collab with Lisa in the future in anything. Because I think the hurdle was always YG not wanting to partner with other labels in Korea for whatever reason, right?
Even though it's weird because YG's and JYP's relationship was back in the day,
Yeah, like they were friends, and then all the stuff
and
happened.
then stuff happens.
Man, I don't know.
I'm interested to see whether Bam Bam actually like stays in Thailand and promotes there,
Yeah.
or if he will still mainly promote in Korea.
Yeah, I mean, he has such a big following anywhere he goes.
Yeah,
It'll be
he
just
has.
really interesting to see how that goes.
Just so iconic.
Yeah, so good. I guess my final thoughts on GOT7 is that, like the crew said on the show, I was really excited to see the direction of the group as a whole after the last two songs. I really like that style of just music in general, where it's a little bit hip hop, it's a little bit R&B, but with a very like K-pop focused type of presentation. And if they were going to do more of that, then I would have been like all in with GOT7. But now that they're no longer a group, it's unfortunate that we're not going to get it. But I also feel like a lot of that style will translate over into all the individual members. It may not be promoted the same way anymore, but at least we can try to find it on our own. And considering we're just big music fans in general, I think we're in for a lot of good stuff moving into the future.
Really.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our reaction to the state of the nation.
Oh God.
So, do you want to go first? So the main
You
topic
can.
of discussion today, or at least on the previous episode of the main show podcast, was toilet talk. What are your overall thoughts of how that conversation started and the direction it went into?
I was so confused. But they like Doug and Warren were also like so hyped to talk about it.
They were so
I was
excited.
They were so excited. And I was just staring at my screen and like thinking about are they really just talking like 30 minutes about toilet?
You know what? You know what's like really surprising to me? It does feel like, because Doug will say it sometimes, like they'll have like a pre-production meeting and they'll talk about like the script, but then like hearing Anita's response and then like her like shock and awe and like her
She just seems genuinely shocked.
yeah, and like her pauses, like I don't think she can fake that. Like she just didn't know what was coming. She was just like, okay.
I did not sign up for this. Why are you talking about that?
Oh god. Like I can understand going from bidets to urinals and then to like public using the bathroom in public, right? But then they got to like the Michigan Warren going to the girls' bathroom and then Anita just like not having any clue what the hell was happening. That was excellent.
Oh god.
God. Well, let me ask you something that's somewhat
Mhm,
like relatable. Like, so
mhm.
Warren and Doug talked about like in Korea, this type of conversation happens often, or they're just more comfortable about talking about
Yeah.
toilet discussions. And Anita is primarily based in the U.S. and this is not her type of conversation. You're in Germany. What
Yes.
is the conversation like around this topic?
I mean, my friends have talked about that like couple of times to me. It's not like very apparent, so you don't talk about it as a small talk topic. But if you're like close friends, it's not unusual that especially dudes will talk about like the fatigue in the restroom for the males. And it's always the same. Like if we talk about it, I will just listen to it and they will just talk about the same stuff over and over again and go into detail even though I don't want to know it. So
Ah,
they're pretty open.
so this is a U.S. thing that we are more shy about our bathroom discussion.
I mean, maybe my friends are weird. You don't know that.
Oh God.
That's also a possibility.
Um, Side note, on Discord, there was also a conversation
Oh
about
God.
toilet seats and golden toilet seats, and we had some members of the nation, a boy named Bagel from Seattle, do the math on what it would cost to make a gold, silver, and platinum toilet, and let's just say it was very thorough. And I was more impressed that he was able to discern the information for an actual working calculation. Yeah. Let's just go with
God,
that.
that kid.
Oh God. Okay, so the State of the Nation was mainly about toilet talk, bathroom talk. Um,
Wonderful.
did you find it interesting that they somehow transitioned to food talk at the end?
That was weird. That was like the last thing I would talk about after talking about toilet for like half an hour.
I couldn't wrap my
They,
head around how they
they
got
I
there.
mean, they somehow managed to. I don't know how. I don't know when they changed the topic.
It was more amazing that they got there than anything else, but I was just like, what the hell is happening? Okay, I'm glad I'm not eating anything right now. Oh God, that was great. All right. So that was toilet talk and that was food talk. They did talk about one discussion point that
Mm,
you and I are very familiar with.
mm.
So on the server, we hang out in voice chat, and we've been
Wait.
unofficially known as the K-pop, the K-drama crew, the K-drama club, and we've watched a lot of K-dramas together. Um, and they started talking about K-dramas on the show this week. So Doug
I
started
was
crash
very happy
landing,
again.
right?
Oh.
I just really like when the show talks about K dramas because I feel a little bit more connected. I'm just like, yes, I've seen those. Yes.
Yes, I can talk about that.
Oh God, it
Oh
just makes me
God.
just like yeah. I don't know. For me, like I like K-pop music, but this might be like a hot take, but if I had to like choose, I
Oh,
guess
oh.
I would
K-drama.
prefer to consume my time with K drama because it's more
Oh,
active, or it's like K-pop, like
that.
yeah. Well, okay, that's a discussion for another time. Maybe I spoke too soon. But I just really like watching stuff. So K dramas are always like top of my interest when people ask me what my hobbies are. It's like I like K dramas. Sorry.
So you would rather say K-drama than itchy?
I don't want to talk about that right now. That's a discussion for another show.
I see. Someone does not want to talk about it.
For the record, I'm still like a top tier midzy, and
Okay.
ITZY is always number one. It's just
Oh, mm,
I need to process
mm,
that first before I say something I
mm.
regret.
Totally.
Anyways, back to the show. So Doug started Crash Landing on You. Anita's watching True Beauty, and Warren's starting Startup.
He's not starting it. He tried to start
Oh,
it
tried to start it. Okay,
and did
sorry.
not succeed.
Thank you for correcting me. So what are your thoughts on the crew talking about those shows, and then
Oh,
anything
I will
else?
be really interested into how Doug will react to Crash Landing on You.
Yeah, He did say that he
because
didn't like the fantasy aspect of the first
I
episode.
mean the first episode was weird
Yeah,
compared to the other ones.
I agree.
But like the more you get into the show, the character,
And I think that's like
just
the really cool part about the show that makes the first episode like very confusing, because like thinking about the show again, the first episode, the tone is actually a lot more different than the rest of the show,
yeah.
because it does start off with like that fantastical point, and like she's kind of like a brat, right? And then it's like a lot of heavy focus on her as a celebrity. But then the rest of the series, the rest of the 15 episodes, it's like very minimal with technology. It's like more about relationships,
Oh,
more about like people. And it's like, oh, this is very different than the first
oh,
episode.
oh. I like the drama a lot.
Yeah. And a lot
But
of similar actors in Startup.
yeah,
So that's really
but I
interesting.
would actually, I think I would not rewatch Crash Landing on You.
Hmm. My
I
parents, on the other hand, have watched it 3 times. So
I don't know why, but it just seems like something that's more heavy and requires more of my emotions.
I mean, what drama does not require your emotions?
But like weightlifting on you, what the fuck? Weightlifting, Fairy Kimbukju, my brain is so dead. Uh, I could rewatch that so many times.
Yeah, that one's lighter.
And it's not that it's way better than Crash Landing on You, but I just feel more comfortable watching that many times without crying too much.
That's true. Yeah. Also, the runtime affects your willingness to
Oh
watch a show as
yeah,
well.
Crash Landing on You was. Oh,
God,
the episodes were getting longer and
it
longer.
was insane. Like it's good.
Wasn't the last episode like 2 hours long?
It was 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours. Yeah. Like I liked the experience of what like the story, but every episode was just longer and longer, and it felt like
I
a
was
movie.
watching a whole ass film
It,
as the last
it was
episode.
ridiculous. I mean, good on them that they pulled it off, and they're an international success now. But like going back to rewatch it, just it does feel like a lot of commitment.
Yeah, it feels like a lot.
Yeah. So quickly, True Beauty. Did you read the webtoon or start this at
Yes,
all?
I am actively reading it,
Oh,
and
nice.
that's the reason why I don't want to watch the drama.
Okay, nice. Do
Be-
you have any thoughts and feelings about the webtoon?
Oh, I really liked it. It's just really soft and just plain romance, but it's really cute, and I like the drawing style of the author.
Nice.
But the drama, so one reason is Chanu because I don't really like his acting, but and the other one is that I've really anticipated this drama at first, but the more they released them and the more I heard about it, the more I just was not excited anymore. I don't know. I don't even know why because I'm I'm sure that it's really good if you have not read the webtoon, or even if you have read the webtoon, it would be still good. But I don't feel like I really want to watch it.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer and then I saw a couple of the recaps on YouTube of like the first couple of episodes, I just wasn't interested. It didn't feel like the main character was likable or that she was going to be redeeming. Because well, what's the premise of the show?
It's basically three main characters, one girl and two boys, and it's like love triangle, obviously. And she is like, let's say she does not fit the beauty standard, but she uses makeup to cover that, and that's like the whole premise of the show and her life and emotions.
Yeah. And that's the part of it that didn't sit well with me. It's just like it kind of leans more into like the physical appearances as opposed to like the internal character development of like how you can find the true beauty in someone on the inside. When it's like, oh, it's a true beauty of you on the outside that you could use makeup and cosmetics to hide. And it's like, oh, I hope the whole show isn't like that. Um,
The webtoon isn't finished yet, which is another point why I don't want to watch the drama
yeah,
because how how do you adapt the webtoon if it's not even finished yet?
yeah.
But
Anita did say that the show is more inspired by the
it,
webtoon.
yeah,
Um,
I've also have from like friends. It's like not really like the webtoon, and the characters are also not like webtoon.
yeah, the trailers do make the characters very unlikable. I think that's where it just stopped. I couldn't. I couldn't commit to watching the show. So the last show they talked about very briefly was Startup.
We
Who
committed to that.
who are the actors in that? Who are the two main leads?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's Anam Ju.
And I'm Ji-hyuk.
Oh
And
yes.
possibly
He's very tall and handsome.
Bae Suzy.
Bae Suzy. She did some Soju
She-
before.
I heard that she's like really pretty.
Oh,
You know,
is that so?
just-
Oh, sounds like new actors I don't know about. But in all seriousness, yes, it was really nice to hear them just mention that show. We, the two of us on Discord, watched the entire series start to finish in about a week.
Oh god.
So that's like spread out like 1 to 2 episodes a day, and each episode is over an hour. I don't know how we did it considering we're on different time zones, but we did. We freaking killed it. If they talk about it more on the show, I think that'll be our opportunity to talk about it here.
Yes.
But I think for now, let's just say we both really liked it.
Yes. It was a roller coaster of emotions.
It was a lot, but very happy with the
and
the
sad
experience.
and happy and
oh god.
Oh.
Anyways, let's move on. So the SojuTalk Nation primarily congregates and meets and has really bonded over Discord over the past year and a half, pre-pandemic and especially during the lockdown and everyone just being home and having to find the internet for companionship and friendship. So this segment is called Discord Adventures. The first topic I'd like to ask you about is where the F is Wolf, and is he actually back?
The answer is he is not.
So he popped up a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen him like crying over like Gaho, but that's been it.
Yeah, I mean,
so the question is he back?
In my headcanon, he got lost in Genshin when he got his husbando.
And now he's lost in exams.
And he's lost in exams where he's just crying and like looking over at the picture of his husbando and thinking where his life went wrong. But really, it was nice. It's nice to see Wolf pop in here and there. It's just
come back.
Come
back.
Nice to have him be more active again. So this is our call to you, Wolf. We miss you.
Please.
Any other memorable moments on Discord this week for you?
Let me sort things out. What happened this week? We spent too much time on voice chat.
Yes, we watched the entire season of Startup, and what this past week was extracurricular, which we could talk about later. But that
was shorter though. That one was shorter. Yeah. That was fine. Like in general, what happened this week? The whole weird poop and toilet talk after the episode came out.
There was some restructuring for like the interface, so Doug had moved some channels around. I kind of like it. It's just more concise and just like fewer things to look through, even though like there are now like larger, like I guess subchannels, larger channels. But I mean, it's just nice to see everything that way. We have a secret channel. Do you want to talk about that?
We have
a brand new secret channel.
Don't talk about it. But the way more important one is we have Soju Bomb.
We have Soju Bomb too. Yes. Okay, so do you want to explain what Soju Bomb is?
So it's basically just a command that will instantly let like, is it 5 GIFs?
Yeah.
I think it's 5 GIFs of like different clips of Soju advertisements of idols.
God, it's amazing. And Doug made 2 of them. So we have a total of 10 that we could bomb at any point in any conversation. Oh, God. Do you remember who's on it?
Suzy.
Susie's
Suzy.
One. IU.
Yes, then one of the actresses of EP01 class, I remember.
Yes.
Irene. IU. And wait, who is it?
Did he have IU twice?
I think that could be it.
I think he had IU twice.
I think it's... Oh wait, it's another actress. She is from... You probably don't know her, but she is from Abyss and Strong Woman Dobungsu.
Nice. I guess the TLDR, it's another way for us to simp over them.
Yes.
And
We
use
also
the
had like
words.
other drink related talk because somehow all idols now have like a
Oh yes,
collaboration
that
either
was a
with
really big discussion.
Coca-Cola or
Okay,
with Pepsi.
yeah. Okay, let me frame it for the listeners. So there was a question of the day: Pepsi or Coke, and that's because news came out that BTS is now globally partnered with Coca-Cola,
And IZ*ONE was like announced as an ambassador, I think, for Pepsi
and
before.
Pepsi. Yes, and this week was it was Blackpink with Pepsi, and everyone lost their minds. I think that question of the day lasted 2 days. So everyone was talking about their preferences and posting simp pictures. We got
And in
from
the end,
Pepsi to
it was
Sprite
just,
because of Waterbomb, all the Waterbomb pictures,
oh God.
and that
It
was
was
the
basically just showing more simping because our favorite groups are ambassadors for all of these brands.
yeah. Wait, just to go back to Sprite, do you remember the Blackpink and Changnam pictures?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god,
Oh God.
that was
Why can't they do this like globally? It's mostly just Asia
yeah.
or Korea.
Jeez, my brain.
You
Yeah,
would you would straight up just drink Sprite for like a week,
I would
just
just
to
buy
stare at like
soda.
Lisa
I
and
don't drink
Rosie.
soda, but I will buy soda if it was available. Oh,
Oh
man.
God.
So then that led us to soju because my dumbass always likes to not answer the question of the day. So when they asked me Sprite or Pepsi, sorry, Coke or Pepsi, I said soju. That led Doug to making the soju commands, and now we have soju bombs.
And we have Yamta for some reason.
Oh, that's another one too. So as soon as Doug made the Yumta command and used it in the hip hop channel, Doug
Warren
warned
popped up.
immediately. Like he's nowhere to be seen regularly on the server, like very rarely. But no, immediately. That was excellent.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Was there anything else memorable?
Not too much. Coming up in the week on Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to have our third session of Dungeons and
Eh.
Dragons, led by Shinboy Matt. Doug is in the game, so it's Doug, myself, No Bias Nuna, Pris, and Therese, with Shinboy Matt dungeon mastering, so leading the campaign. So if you don't know Dungeons and Dragons, it's a role-playing game that is a story-based structure where you have one person leading a story, and then you play a fantasy character in that world, and you go through this adventure. You go on a quest. Most of the people on the server are, well, not most, but like a lot of people on the server have been interested. If you want to watch it this week, Doug will stream it through the channel.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so just ask any of the general channels how to get there, because I think you do need access to it, but it's just click the status to have access to it. So yeah, it'll be a stream. It's not going to be on Twitch, but it'll stream on Discord itself.
This will just mean that you're on at the top of the leaderboard for the most time in voice chats
God,
again.
I know. Oh, can we talk about that real quick? So I forgot that the records, that there are records of like when people do things on Discord. So then Koala sends me a screenshot of the leaderboard of people on voice chat, and I happen to be on there for the month of December to January with 50 plus hours.
Mad lad. I I had 40 hours. That's like still a lot if you consider that I did not participate in any of the D&D sessions.
This is true. And you know what? No, I'm not sorry for doing that. I
Oh,
love this community, and I'm going to be part of it as much as I can. So that's what I'm going to say to
50
that.
hours.
Uh,
You see that?
you know
Oh
what?
God.
The pandemic's hard for everyone. This is how
You
I
could
make it less hard.
you could do
Well, I do step away from the computer. I step away from the computer a lot throughout the day. I have no idea how I accrued that many hours.
50 hours.
That's insane.
Like really, you're like really going out of. I don't know how you can be the number one.
I don't know how either. And that didn't account for Mama, right?
No, it did not.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, the 6 hours all of us spent in voice chat.
I
Oh god.
I
You passed
I
out.
can't even respond like how we did that. That was absurd.
I mean, it was fine for me. It was just waking up, getting my breakfast, and go to the laptop and start the stream. And for
God.
you, it was like 2 a.m.
Right. So for context, I'm in California, so I'm on Pacific Standard Time. The show started at
Yes.
2 a.m. So I took like a 30-45 minute nap. I woke up and then I watched the show with everyone. I finished it and the sun came out. So that's where we're at. God.
I think Bagel passed out.
Yeah, Bagel.
Could it be?
So
I
Bagel
think he
was
passed out.
Bagel was drinking Red Bull and he still passed out.
He was drinking a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It was something. But I will say, like, it's moments like that that make me very grateful that we're all bonded and
It
connected.
was nice.
Yeah, through the.
It was a nice evening. Still, please don't do that again, Mnet.
Please, please.
Please, for the sake of all of us.
And there were a lot of memorable moments from this year's Mama. Let's just.
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
it was like it was just us screaming at each other every time something epic happens.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just nice to think about it again.
Yeah.
So what else happened this week? Duck had his birthday.
That's right. Happy birthday, Doug. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday again.
Yeah.
He old now. Oof.
Yeah. Well, the thing he got that was pretty cool was the poo poo ass hat. That was
Actually pretty cool.
That was excellent. It was very like high quality. It's like, oh,
Yeah, it was like embroidered and shit.
Yeah, much better than the hat in extracurricular.
My god, it's so ugly. And I think that hat is like high brand and really expensive, like $200.
Jeez, that hurts me.
Yes.
All right. So anything you're looking forward to next week in the world of K-pop and the community?
Next week. Oh yeah. First episode of Treasure Map season 2, y'all.
Oh, that's right.
It's happening. It's Running Man themed, so they're doing their own Running Man.
That sounds like a very YG thing to do. God damn.
Yes, and they said they will be using the new building.
Oh my god.
So I will see a lot of the new building.
Yes.
I will be so happy because they find. I mean, they actually rest because apparently they filmed it since like August throughout their whole promotions cycles.
Oh wow, you're gonna get a lot of like the behind the scenes then for the promotional period.
Yeah, because I've seen that they teased some clips and some members had like old hair colors.
Oh wow.
Of the past releases.
Yeah, that's gonna be very like a timestamp thing. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that from months ago. Yeah.
But I'm really excited for that one.
Well, I will look forward to all the gifs and pictures from that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It will be nice. Yeah. I will need to see who I can watch it with though, because my cousin is like really stressed. I'm not forcing you.
Well, I'm sure if you went on voice chat, someone would watch it because I think Therese and Ara are pretty up there now with Treasure fandom, right?
I'm so ready.
Right.
I'm so ready for it.
So there you go.
And anything else? OP's birthday is next week.
Oh, that's right. OP's birthday.
That's another thing.
Yeah, we'll be sure to shout him out and do something. That'll be nice. For me, nothing K-pop related. I'm kind of behind on the releases, but with the way that they structure it on the show now, I don't plan watching releases until they actually happen. So it's just like when it happens, it happens. Like Alexa yesterday, she released her music video. I don't know if you saw, but I was all over the place, and I was talking to everyone about how much I cried during that music video.
Is it like sad?
It's a ballad.
Or is it like sim sad? Oh.
It's a ballad, yeah. It's super slow. It's a very moody winter, snowy.
Oh.
I don't even know.
Oh, you know what I'm excited for next week?
Yes.
Rose solo announcement, please.
Please.
I'm the clown.
Can we not?
I'm a clown. I can say that out loud. I'm a clown. I will just say that.
All right, clown. Well, I'm going to not talk about that, or else I'll just be really frustrated when it doesn't happen. But we can save that for next week if it does actually happen. God.
I've been talking to you about that for like
Well, I
some
mean,
time
you get
already.
internal emails from YG, considering you're an employee there.
Yes, of course. Of course. That's why I'm also like really excited every time I see something being announced.
God, man, I'm excited too, but I gotta temper my expectations. All
But like
right.
maybe because there's no other artists coming back. I don't know.
Yeah,
Next week
it does feel
releases.
quiet next week.
Next week maybe Changa's pre-release next week. That's
Right.
also the same.
She's another pre-release. That's 4 pre-releases, right?
I can't keep track.
It was.
It's been so many.
Stay Tonight.
Stay Tonight, then that one
Play.
collaboration.
Stay Tonight, Play.
The one with Rehab.
The one with Rehab.
How do you
the English song, and then this song, and then she does like 2 other songs. I don't even know if they're gonna be on the album. Jungkook's busy. Yeah.
She is. Anything else I'm looking forward to? Maybe watching while you were sleeping, Crispy.
But yeah, that's the show we'll watch. We'll talk about shows in more detail somewhere else. that's what you call a tease, guys. All right.
Do it, YG, please.
Yeah. Is that it, Qual? Have any other closing thoughts?
No, I'm just speaking Rose into existence, and that's.
Yeah. Simpin' Rose is how we're going to end this show this week.
Rosie! Everyone, if you haven't checked out yet, check the Instagram account of her dog out.
Oh,
it's
yes.
Hank Says Hank.
Okay. Say it again so everyone can hear it clearly.
Hank Says Hank. I don't know if there's like any special. I think it's just Hank Says Hank.
Hank Says Hank
but
on Instagram.
She also posted pictures with him, so you would be able to find him because she tagged him.
So good.
It's like just really cute.
So good, man. YG, just gotta love it. All right. Well, thank you for listening to the first episode of the SojuTalk Nation podcast. Continue the conversation on Discord at SojuTalk, and until next week, we will be talking about all the new releases, recapping the main show, and talking about our lives in the community. From myself, Crispy, and Koala, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.